Hello everybody and welcome to Cabbit with a Controller. We're back in Final Fantasy XIV. My name is Hokucho and we're going to go over crafting. So, crafting is what you do sort of after you start doing Disciple of Land or at the very beginning. You know, some guilds will go ahead and supply items for you so you don't need to go find them yourself, which is extremely helpful. But here we're just going to go over the basics of crafting. So, I have my character here. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of skills. We'll go over some of those later, but we're just going to learn how crafting basically works. So, in order to do this, we are going to go into our personal log and open up our crafting log. And as you can see, we have a whole bunch of recipes here, because I have a lot of Disciple of Hand, or DOH skills. We're going to go all the way down to 31 and 35, because that's where we have some linen yarn, and I happen to have some flax on hand that we can use to craft. So, we're going to cue the synthesis there. Now, a lot of things just popped up here in the top left. What is this? This is the menu for the item that you're going to make. What step number you're on, durability, which is basically how many turns you have left until the item breaks, the condition, the progress, and the quality, and the high quality percentile that you will get a high quality item. So the condition has 4 different states. You have normal, which adds no benefit, poor, which adds a lower benefit, and these are all in relationship to quality, by the way, and good, which applies a higher quality boost than normal, and excellent, which applies the best quality bonus. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to start just making this yarn regular like we would, because I can't make it in one step, so we're going to worry about this here. Now, what I'm going to do is, don't worry about this inner quiet thing, it's just a skill I do in the very beginning to make sure everything is fine. So, we are going to do a basic synthesis, which has a 100% efficiency rate with a success rate of 90%. That means 10% of the time, it shouldn't work, which means that we'll lose a durability step, and we won't get any benefit for it. So as you can see, we got it right there. So we now have 37 out of 55. Once we fill up that 55, we're done making the item. So what I'm going to do is that I am actually going to work on getting a higher quality. So we will use Basic Touch, which is a very simple one that you'll learn early on in your crafting. Has a 100% efficiency rate with a success rate of 70%. So we're going to do this twice. First time it failed there, so we didn't get any quality bonus increase. And we failed both times. So, what I'm going to do from here is that since we only have 10 durability, I'm going to use my Careful Synthesis skill, which is a skill you learn later, but it has a 100% success rate, so we know that I'm going to be able to make that yarn. And now, as you can see, if we open up our menu here, I've made some before, but now we have 5 things of yarn. Before I had 4, so we now have 1 thing of linen yarn that we can use towards crafting other items. Now, really quick, just to go over it, linen yarn is an item that is used to craft other items. It does not have an equipable source itself, but what it is done for is doing something like undyed linen. So this is basically things like why you were gathering items in the field with your Disciple of Land. And if you haven't seen those videos, I highly recommend going back, because I recommend kind of doing in this order if possible. So after I harvested some flax, I was able to make linen yarn. When I made that linen yarn, I can now use it to make other items like this undyed linen, which is, again, not another equipable item, but necessary for this. Now, how we select this is that it shows how many crystal shards, or crystal clusters, or regular crystals it'll show that we need, how many are required, and how many we have. The gray number on the bottom represents how many we have, and the top number represents how many we want to use. So for instance, if I had a high quality linen yarn, I could split it up between 1 normal quality and 1 high quality, or if I had 2 high quality linen yarn, I could use 2 high quality linen yarns to fill out that 2 requirement. And what using high quality items does is that it increases the chance that you'll be able to get a high quality at the end of this. It increases the quality base stat. So you have less difficulty making a higher quality item. So we'll show how the building into building thing works here by just making 1 bolt of undyed linen. So again, we're going to go ahead, see that we have 40 durability. We're going to use Inner Quiet, which is an early skill that you gain. We're going to use another basic synthesis. And then we're going to try and see if we can make it a little bit better by doing Basic Touch. Okay, good. So as you can see, that went up by 1%. Now, all the time, it doesn't go up incrementally just by 1%. Depending on how much of this, of the overall quality you have, will drastically increase the higher quality percentile. So for instance, if I'm about at the halfway mark, I will have a much, much higher percentage than just 2%. So it won't go up to 3%, 4%. It'll probably go for like 2% to 5. Well, actually, here, let's find out. If I get this right, we should see a percentile increase. And we did, so as you can see, it went to 4 instead. So the more stuff that you're able to synthesize into higher quality, the higher that high quality chance percentile will increase. So now we're going to just finish up this one because I have no more durability to use. And we didn't get a high quality item, but we still got the Bolt of Undyed Linen. So, with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And then the next video will entail more advanced use techniques. Not necessarily perfect combos, but just a general gist of how it can work.